Melissa Zad from Pep Talk UK. Hope you're all doing well. I am down at BXR with DEON Jumah, or the Ghost.
The Ghost. DEON the Ghost Jumah.
DEON the Ghost Jumah. If any of you have seen him box, you'll know exactly why he's called that. Evasive, very evasive fighter.
Evasive.
Yeah.
Hard to get hold of, hard
Very
to kill.
hard, yeah, hard to hit, really hard to hit. 1 second he's there, next second he's leading his lead hand out and then moving away and there's something not there.
You know your stuff.
I know my stuff, or I pretend to know my stuff, one or the other.
People don't know the difference these days, that's the problem.
That's right, that works in my favour. So firstly, DEON, how are you?
Yeah, I'm well, and just awaiting for a fight to be made. I've got a fight, I think a lot of people know, or some might not know, that I've got a fight that I'm waiting to go to purse bids against Isaac Chamberlain, so I'm excited for that and really excited to be getting back into full camp.
Yeah. It's been a few months.
Yeah, about almost 6 months.
Yeah, it was December, right? Your last fight, yeah. So DEON is 11-0.
Yep.
Very, very talented cruiserweight. And a lot of people are very, very excited to see his next fight. And there's been so much hype around this potential fight with Isaac Chamberlain because it's something that the fans really, really want to see. I'm a big fan of the cruiserweight division, and I really want to see that fight made. There's a little bit of a story behind this, the situation at the moment as it currently stands. So the fight has gone to purse bids. And Isaac Chamberlain's response on social media
was a negative deflective one.
Yeah.
Not saying the fight won't happen, because I'm hoping it will, and we're training for it, and we're ready for it. It's a good fight to be made. As you said, you're a big fan of the cruiserweight division, so am I. I think me and him we're two of the smaller guys in the cruiserweight division. I've got a big amateur base, and he's quite a skillful guy himself. So,
very much so.
I think it makes for a good fight. He's been at a level which he holds in high esteem, whether that was losing to Coley or beating Watkins. And I am yet to prove myself as a professional. So I think it's a perfect fight, and it should be made, you know. I agree.
Well, in your opinion, why do you think Isaac Chamberlain has been deflective and negative?
Because he knows that I'll beat him. Do you know, I'm not saying do you know, sometimes when you're a fighter, when you've been fighting for a long time, you can see a style and you'll know that style's made for me, or I'll beat him. You don't have to have shared the ring with him, you don't have to have sparred with him. It's not about who's beating him, or it's not even weighing it up like that. It's just when you've been boxing for years, you just know.
And what is it specifically about Isaac's style that you see yourself beating when you watch
I just think I've got a lot more substance than he does. I think he's easy to hit. I think he's easy to hit. I've seen him in a couple of fights.
So a lot of people have sort of been the ones who are on the deflective camp of this fight, you know, the ones who are like, well, why don't you fight, have sort of thrown some names into the pot and been like, well, why don't you fight Luke?
The one to, or him. Because I think if anyone else has been deflective, it's only going to be his friends or his people.
Yeah, well, his people.
If he don't want it.
This
if he wanted it, I think everyone would be up for it, right?
Yeah, no, I meant like in his camp kind of thing. So people have sort of thrown some names into the pot and been like, well, why don't you fight Luke Watkins? What's your sort of reasoning, or what's your sort of counter argument to that?
I'd fight Luke Watkins, but we're talking about him right now. We can all deflect. We've both been put in this situation. I wanted this situation, but it just so happens that now he's been put in it because the British Boxing Board made the fight. So man up and take the fight.
This is the other thing, right? So the fight's gone to purse bids, and as you explained to me just before the interview, for a fighter who's in this kind of situation, if they have something like a bigger opportunity on the horizon or a better opportunity on the horizon, there are ways around it to kind of get out of that situation and go and grab the better opportunity. But as it currently stands, Isaac Chamberlain doesn't have any other opportunities that we've heard about on the horizon. So that's quite an interesting one.
Of course, just because it's made by the board, I'm not stupid. I know it doesn't mean it's a guarantee, it doesn't mean it's set, but he doesn't have anything else on the horizon, and I can't see who else he's going to fight other than me. He's not ready for world level.
No.
So, fight me. I'm saying I'll knock his block off. Fight me, prove the fans wrong, prove to the fans that you are really the way he goes on like he is, because to a lot of people he's just an Instagram boxer, and in my opinion he is as well. So I think he's got a lot of proving to do for the British boxing fans, because a lot of people are unsure about him, including myself.
Because looking at his Instagram posts and stories, he's always training. He's always in the gym and like going ham and whatnot and what have you. So you would expect that he'd want to put that expertise to good use, right, in the ring.
It's a lot of gym fighters nowadays. Everything's a game now. It's all about how you're seen. It's about Instagram. It's about Twitter. But when it comes to actually fighting, I don't know, there's always some sort of complication.
Yeah, it always seems so, but at the end of the day, like, boxing, in my opinion, is not only like a technical sport, but it's also a spectator sport, right? And your fan base are going to remain your fan base if you're in the ring fighting, like that. You're a boxer, right? So it's one of those situations where you're kind of like, people are like urging for this fight to happen. People want it to happen, they want to see two like very technical, very good cruiserweights get into the ring together and basically do the business. It would be a real shame if the fight.
It would be a shame. It's a good fight.
It's a great fight.
I'll say to someone that I'd like to see it. You know what I mean? It's a good fight.
I don't know who else you would fight.
I don't know what his problem is. To be honest, I'm sick of all this. I've been through this about, I think, 3 times now since I've come back to boxing. Like, just people saying they're up for it and then it being made and then they're not, or just backing out for whatever reason. And I'm here to fight. I'm here to prove myself. I am aware that sometimes I'm not going to get the fight I want, but I've got to suck up and get on with it. Exactly. Like he thinks he's a superstar, but he's not. He's not. He's got a lot to prove, and if he truly believed himself, he'd use me as a way to prove it. To prove he is what he says he is. To prove he is as he goes on. But as I said, hopefully, I'm wrong, and he's training right now for me, and he's got some southpaw sparring wherever he is. And maybe he's getting down and dirty. Who knows? But I'm hoping that's what it is.
Dio, can I ask you a question?
Go.
Why do you think it is that so many of, well, not so many, that's quite a wild exaggeration, but why do you think this has happened to you a few times now, in your opinion?
Because I'm good, and because not a lot of people know me. So it's high risk, low reward. It's one thing getting beat by someone who everyone's ranting and raving about and everyone knows who they are, but it's another thing getting beaten by someone who some people know but others don't. So it's like you got beaten by a nobody kind of thing. But that isn't really the case, because as I've said before, people in boxing, if you truly are a fan of the sport, you know who I am.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I've achieved. I'm a fighter. Like in the ABAs, I always go back to the amateurs, because obviously that's my base. Like in the ABAs, I was knocking out every opponent all the way up to the finals. I was always in highly entertaining fights. People always wanted to see me. I was on the GB squad when I went. I had my first pro fight in Germany. Box Nation televised me. So yeah, it's come off a lot. And in boxing, things change so fast. So I was out for 2 years, and I'm going from being talked about to people like DEON Jumah, who's that? And it's crazy. So like, I've literally looked up on Instagram and some conversations about me, and people are like, DEON, who's that? They generally like have no clue, and I'm like, was I gone that long?
That long, yeah. But it's such a quick turnaround, right? Like some boxers, like they just they get on the scene and then they go through their trajectory and like you know, so it's quite a quick turnaround.
But you know what? I came back thinking like, do you know what? It doesn't matter, people know me or not, because I'm just gonna get my fights, I'm gonna win them, being an underdog or whatever. It doesn't matter to me. And then sooner people will be talking about me, but that's not how it works. You have to have a name before you get these fights.
Especially these days as well.
It's crazy, man.
It's like the focus, sometimes it feels like the focus of the reputation lies elsewhere other than in boxing itself, you know?
Exactly that, yeah.
And that's a really hard landscape to navigate if that's not your forte. Like, I don't know, I often talk about social media as like, it has its perks, but also it has a lot of downfalls, right? Because if you're not someone who's social media savvy or like always like, I don't know, on it, then it can be very difficult.
What if you've got a bit of pride? You know what I mean? If you've got a little bit of pride or
like
anything,
embarrassment
like anything. But do you know what? It's been a learning process. I've had to put certain things to the side about myself just to get in there. I've had to like be a lot more outspoken. Do you know what? I would have never done this back in the day. Call out so many people. I did it because I had to.
Well, you do have to. Like,
do you know what I mean? Like,
you know?
I would have loved to have been the guy who just stays quiet, who's a ghost, literally, just gets these fights, knocks people out, moves on to the next one.
Ghost by nature, ghost by name.
Do you know what I mean? That would have been ideal, and that's what I always loved about boxing. I love boxing because you can excel. You can excel and just be yourself. I don't have to
put on a front. Almost.
Yeah. I can be what I want to be. At the end of the day, all that matters is when I'm in the ring that I'm doing my job. But nah, there's so much more to it, and I'm grateful for it. But at the same time,
it has its downfalls.
Yeah,
it has its downfalls. If that's not in your nature, like it's definitely not in my nature. So I totally understand. Like if it's not in your nature, it's a very hard thing to navigate. But you know, ultimately, like actual boxing fans, like they know your record, they know what you've achieved, and they really want to see your next fight. You know, like I'm absolutely buzzing to see you fight again.
Oh, thank you. It's coming. It's coming.
It is coming.
Whether it's Chamberlain or not, we will find out.
It will be Chamberlain. Come on, Chamberlain. Come on, Isaac.
Come on, Isaac.
Let's get this going.
Team Chambo. Do you know what I mean?
But yeah, DEON, thank you so much for your time. And we'll stay so closely monitoring the situation. As soon as the purse bids get made, if fight gets made,
it's gonna happen.
Yeah.